This episode is brought to you by Making Strides. They're a specialised rehabilitation centre on the Gold Coast, helping people with neurological conditions move better, feel better, and regain independence. If you or someone you know is navigating recovery or looking to improve quality of life, check out Making Strides and become part of the Purple family by heading to makingstrides.com.au to learn more. Okay, you ready? Let's do it. You're listening to Chats from a Chair with me, Nick Dempsey, coming to you from my wheelchair. I speak with people who have a great story to tell, portraying the human potential, often in the face of adversity. Check out the Instagram page at chatsfromachair_podcast and let me know who you think I should have on and have a chat with. Also, don't forget to hit follow on whatever platform you're listening to this. But for now, sit back and enjoy this episode. I just want to give a warning that this episode contains discussions around mental health and suicide. If this is triggering for you or anyone you know, you can contact Lifeline on 13 11 14. You can also text them on 0477 13 11 14 or head to their website lifeline.org.au and head towards their live chat. Declan Kluver, welcome to Chats from a Chair, mate. Thanks for coming on.
No worries. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for having me.
How you feeling about this today, mate? Pretty heavy story. It's quite a journey you've been through. How you feeling about sharing it today?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. It's something that I haven't shared publicly yet.
Yep.
Obviously a little bit of dribs and drabs on on Instagram of my recovery, but I haven't actually told the story of what's happened in great detail.
All right. Well, let's get into it then. I guess to start with, tell me a little bit about your life before everything took a turn, and I guess what were you doing with yourself and your family life and whatnot.
Yeah, mate. I grew up in a typical Aussie middle class family with an amazing mum and dad. Happy-go-lucky kid, always into sport, rugby, volleyball, baseball, always active. And then I think I've just been super fortunate in life where everything sort of went my way. There wasn't really a time when I found that much hardship or tough. Like the toughest thing was probably losing my dad at a young age. He lost his life to pancreatic cancer, and that was something to go through at 22, 23.
Yeah,
and that hit me pretty hard. But like in regards to business and stuff, I've always had a good fortune and landed on my feet from 21, making juices and selling them at the markets. And that's sort of where the entrepreneurial career kicked off.
That's where it started, and it took you on a journey where you had started and were running a pretty successful company. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so Ex-Recruiter is probably my hallmark company that I started with a co-founder in 2022. We kicked that business off. So we'd been in recruitment for 6 years prior to that, and we were running our own recruitment agencies. Mm-hmm. And then we saw a business model done in real estate where you're helping real estate agents start, run and grow their own real estate businesses. And we thought, shit. I spoke to an investor who'd invested in one of the companies, and he says the first person who does this in recruitment will be wildly successful. And then so I called up my mate at the time and I said, dude, we've got to do this. Like, this is going to pop off. And fortunately enough for us, it did. Yeah. We became Australia's fastest growing company by the Australian Financial Review. Yeah, we were number 8 most innovative company. We were winning awards left, right and center. I was in Forbes magazine. We're in the Courier Mail, the Australian. We're expanding into America. Like, everything was just going. It was a rocket ship.
I saw it went up like 2,400% or something in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, we went from I think we went from 24,000 to 1 million to 16 million in 2 years.
Yeah, wow. So that's your life. Like you said, everything going well. You're running this successful business, started from scratch and working hard doing that. Did you have a family as well, wife and kids?
Yeah, I got 3 kids.
Yep.
And Deanna, my fiance she wasn't a fiance for 9 years. She was a fiance for 3 years, but we've been together for 9 years.
And how old are you at this stage when you started that business?
I would have been 22. I was 30.
30, yeah. Okay. So 30-year-old, 3 kids, a fiance, running a multi-million-dollar company. Life can't get much better.
Mate, it didn't. Like, we used to go on trips and we used to, because like we'd try and save money, right? So me and Blake would share a bed. instead of getting like a 3-bedroom apartment, we'd
Yeah.
just get a 2-bedroom apartment. So we'd have our videographer and me and Blake would be saving money and we'd be sharing beds and we'd be like giggling and we'd be like, can you fucking believe that this is our job? And we'd be traveling around Australia, helping recruiters get rich, start launch companies, doing podcasts. And we're like, life doesn't get any better than this. Like, this is just the best.
Did you guys not realize you were rich and you could afford a place each? Didn't need a share of it?
No, but we're investing like all the money back into the business to grow it.
Right.
Yeah. So it didn't go to our back pockets. But yeah, it was just a funny moments like that where like our highlight thing to do would get a really nice steak. So no matter which state we were in, we'd be like, let's find the best steakhouse and go get $100, $200 steak and just like pig out. And that would be the reward.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I could do a whole chat with you just about entrepreneurial stuff and starting businesses. I mean, I love that kind of thing, but unfortunately, that's not what we're here to talk about today.
Okay.
But running that business, it did take a toll on you, and you're working long hours. How did that start to affect your health?
Yeah, it took a toll on me that I didn't realize was taking a toll on me. So I went to, we're in Perth, and obviously it's a big trip over to Perth.
Yeah.
It's 6-hour flight. And we got there, and the day, like our videographer always loved to like make sure we got the most out of every trip. And I did 6 podcasts back to back.
Yeah, wow.
Like in one day. And I was like, and I just felt this energy come over me. It was like a euphoric excitement. And we were cackling, like we got back to the Airbnb and then we were like cackling on the ground. And one of our staff members was like, what's wrong with you two? And we're like, we're just so excited. It was fucking sick. They were the best podcasts ever.
Yeah.
And we were just giggling. And I just felt like this weird feeling that I'd never felt before. And it was like, it's like I just went into this new level. And I was like, what the fuck's this? Anyway, I went to bed, thought nothing of it, woke up at like 4 a.m. And the reason why I justified to myself waking up at 4 a.m. because I was like, oh, that's 6 a.m. in Brisbane.
Okay.
So I'd wake up at 4 a.m. and then I'd go on these walks and then I'd just think about the business. Like, what could I do better? How could we improve it? What's this bottleneck? Who do we need to delegate, elevate, and all this shit. And then I just like, we got back from Perth and, just before we left Perth, I started like seeing signs. My favorite book's called The Big Leap.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw a car with the number plate Big Leap. And I was like, it's a fucking sign. Yeah. And then I was like, is this what success is? Because everyone like talks about like finding your zone of genius and, getting into that quantum field and all, like I was into all that stuff at the time. I got quantum tattooed on me. And I was like into this and like everything kept going my way. And I was like, what's going on? This is really weird. And then my ideas started getting bigger and bigger. And then I was on a run and I was running my dog and I'd take him on like a 10K run and I'd gotten back and I walked past this what's it called? Like a flight center. But this flight center specialized in private jets.
Yeah.
And I walk in, no shirt, dog wrapped around my waist. And I'm like, hey, can I get a flight? She's like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, Texas. She's like, yeah, you can go to Texas. And her fingers were like bent. So she was like writing and her fingers were like really bent. And I was like, this is really weird. And then the more I'm like, she's like, are you good for this? I was like, yeah, look me up. And I had an article that said like extra recruiter, $50 million expansion, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I'm good for it. And she's like, okay, how many people do you want to go to Texas with? I'm like, rattled off like 8 names.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we go on a G5 jet? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And like, I leave and I get home. I'm like, D, I just booked a flight to Texas. And she's like, I know, you just messaged one of my friends and they're pissed off that they're not coming with us to Texas. And I'm like, she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then I'm like, what do you mean? And then I get a message and it's like, hey mate, saw you in Australian Financial Review. Just thought I'd reach out. We're selling apartments at the moment down in Greenmount. Just wanted to see if you're interested. Pick up the phone. I'm like, that's a sign.
Right.
And I'm like, and then he goes, what apartments do you have? And I was like, oh, what's your biggest apartment? He's like, we've got a $30 million penthouse. I was like, put me down for that. And a $10,000 fully refundable deposit. But yeah, in the 2 weeks, you had to pay like $500,000, which I didn't have.
Yeah. Okay.
And I started doing all these like grandiose big ideas. I went to the the office of Parliament and got a form to become Australia's youngest Prime Minister. And I just
Right.
started doing all this weird shit, which felt at the time, I was just like, my business coach was like, you know, you need to find a side act outside of ex-recruiter because you're running too fast and blah, 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 and you're doing really well. Like, what else could you get involved in? And I was like, oh, I know, I'll get into politics. And I
Yeah.
just did these major things. I went and hired a Range Rover for a weekend and just
Doing all these big grand sort of,
grandiose ideas. And
yeah,
I didn't realize I was actually in a manic episode.
right.
Yeah. So like, and then once you're in a manic episode, like it fucking gets way worse. And
Yeah.
that was just the start of it.
And did it seem normal to you at the time? Like
Yeah.
as you're doing these
I could
things,
justify everything.
it just seemed like, yeah, this is what I should be doing.
Yep.
And you can remember them all now. It's not like you black out and that's
No.
different. You can remember that.
When I went to hospital, I blacked out for 2 weeks.
Yeah. But-
Um,
and then, right, so you're doing all these grand gestures, grand ideas. When does the penny drop? When does it snap? What happens?
yeah. So my partner and my sister called the ambulance and they came and took me to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I spent a night in, I forget what it's called, but it's like the mental health emergency ward. Anyway, I was really good at talking myself out of things and not saying I was ill. So I stayed there the night. It's rough as, and a lot of people are like homeless, and I'm like this well put together business dude who wore a suit to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like I got suited and booted to get in an ambulance to go to the hospital. That's how sick I was.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I'm like, and I had like a Rolex hat on, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go and sort these people out. And then I was like, you need to get me the fuck out. Like I was calling everyone. There was a payphone and I would just call everyone. I called the fire brigade and said there was a gas leak in the hospital that they need to come and check.
Just try to get out of
Just
there.
to try and get out. Like I was
Right.
desperate to get out of there. And then they finally let me go. And then I went to a facility in Noosa, which was $80,000 for the month. And like, no, our family couldn't afford that.
A mental health facility?
Yep.
Yep.
And so then as soon as I found out how expensive it was, I was like, I've got to get out of here. And they were mainly like alcoholics there. And I don't drink or take drugs. So I was like, I don't need this help. I'm better than this and I'll leave. So then I left, fluffed up my pillows so it looked like I was asleep in bed, jumped the fence, ran 12 kilometers barefoot, got a random hitchhiked to my partner's uncle's house, then got on a phone, booked an Uber, went to the Gold Coast to try and pick up my friends and say, hey, let's go to Perth. I'm going to do a podcast. Like I was really sick.
So you're still in a manic episode
Still in
now.
a manic episode. And then got to the airport. Deanna, my mum and my sister, they're like, you need to come home with us. Just come home. I'm like, get away from me. Get away from me. You're stopping me from doing this. I need to go to Perth. I booked a business class flight to Perth. I just had thongs on, like shorts and a shirt. I stunk like shit.
Yeah.
Because I'd been like running around. I leg it through Qantas security and just get nailed by this security guard.
Right.
3 AFP police officers stack on top of me. And then they drag me out, handcuff me and drag me out, put me in an ambulance.
Wow. So how long did that manic episode last from that first?
That was one weekend.
That was one weekend. Yeah.
And then it lasted 4 weeks. Like I reckon it was a
Right.
2-week build up.
Yeah.
A weekend of extreme events. And then there was 2 weeks in hospital where like I tore the ceiling apart. I punched holes in the wall. I pulled all the cabling and piping out of the ceiling. I helped one of my mates escape. I pushed him up into the ceiling and he climbed in the ceiling. They're like, he's trying to escape.
Yeah.
And I had to pull him down.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, I was a menace. I was about like 95 kilos, pretty fit. And then they would tackle me and have to inject me with the drugs to like calm me down.
Wow. And you had no history of mental health at all through your life? Really?
I found out my family has like 4
Yeah.
or 5 people have committed suicide in my family,
Right.
like cousins and distant relatives. But nah, I'd never shown any signs
And
of mental health.
do you know where this manic episode came from? Was it due to a lot of work stress?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of stress. I felt at the time that I was getting shafted out of the business. And then you have like my therapist says you have 2 main triggers. Like one of them is for me is not feeling good enough. And the other one's abandonment. So I felt like I wasn't doing good enough. So I went into overdrive and then started working heaps. And at the time, my partner, she had a nose job. So I was getting up for my son at like 2 a.m., putting him back to bed and then starting work at 3, going to CrossFit, then I'd go on my walk, and then I'd go on CrossFit at 5, and then I'd come home, quickly have brekkie, race off to the office, come home at 7:30, and then like, do that for 2 weeks, sleep deprivation, and then I fried my brain.
Just burning yourself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So just going that hard, you literally fried your brain and
Yeah.
just triggered it, and that's wow.
Yep.
So when you're tackled by police at the airport, taken back to a mental health institution
Yep.
again, you say?
Yep.
And how long were you there on that stay?
4 weeks.
4 weeks, right. And by the end of that 4 weeks, are you starting to feel yourself again? What's happening? Did you snap out of the manic episode while you were in there? And no, you still...
Yeah, it wasn't extreme. I was like manageable.
Yeah,
But I still felt like I wasn't myself.
right.
And I just wanted to get out of there, and because I was like watching The Matrix and like all these psychoactive movies.
Yeah.
I had in my head, they're like red pill, blue pill,
Yeah.
all that shit. Like fuck the authorities. You need to get away from them.
Get away. Yeah.
Everyone else in the facility is like talking like that. So you're sitting around with these people all day, and they're like, we're just spirits. We're not real. Like all this crazy stuff, and like third eye, and yeah. And I wasn't myself, and I just lied my way to get out.
Did you receive a diagnosis in there?
Bipolar 1.
Oh, so you were diagnosed with bipolar.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and did that come on from the manic episode?
Yeah. So as soon as you have a manic episode, you're classed as bipolar 1.
As bipolar.
Yeah.
How did you take hearing that diagnosis?
I didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you take it? Did they recommend medication and treatment for you? Did you take any of that? No, just ignored it?
Yep.
Pretend it wasn't a thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
I put on a lot of weight, and like I really cared about my body image, and I put on about 12 kilos of fat and had like acne all over my body. And I was just like, I'm not, and the stuff makes you feel real dumb. Like it's hardcore medication.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't feel myself. I don't look like myself. Like I feel dumbed out. Like there's a video of me, and I'm like, my first day of my mental health recovery plan.
Yeah.
And it's just like, who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
So I was just like really against going to a psychiatrist, having them help me, or they would call me and be like, yeah, I'm already seeing someone else. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
And they're all the biggest mistakes I ever made, because, mate, if I was medicated, if I was seeing someone, there's no way I would have jumped off a cliff. Like I'm not suicidal. I've never, up until those like that 1 week, 2 weeks where I had that second manic episode, and one of my mates is a mental health consultant down in Tassie, and bipolar is such a beast of a thing that if you don't absolutely nail it the first time, it like ambers fester, and then it can flare up again.
And then it can get worse with
it. And you go through what goes up must come down. So you go through a manic depressive episode, and then that's what happened.
So it's extremes of, if I'm right about bipolar, you go through extremes, like you can have a really depressive episode. And then you can also have the really euphoric episode, and it's just the emotions in big swing. Yeah. Well, so you can see how that would really fuck with your emotions as well.
And so like I like loved my business and loved my life so much before the manic episode. So like to lose that, be shut off, relationships gone, not knowing what I'm doing. I was working a sales job for a real estate agent at the time, and I wasn't really enjoying it, and I was lost, and then I was having relationship issues, and just and then I wasn't sleeping well, and I was having all these nightmares, and then it all just started to flare up again.
So is this when you come out of that 4 weeks, out of the mental health institution?
This is 4 months later.
4 months later. So 4 months after you've received, 4 months after the first manic episode, you've received the diagnosis. So you're back out, and you're back out of hospital. So you're not working in your job anymore in ex-recruiter? What's happened there? Got kicked out because of your mental health?
I did some things while I was manic, which broke my shareholders agreement. So it forced,
Yeah, okay.
Not that I would ever do them if I was sound minded.
Yeah, of course. The manic episode is what brought them on. Okay, so you're getting kicked out of your business and start to have relationship problems as well?
Yep.
And then do things start to spiral from there again?
Yep.
So then what happens? Another manic
episode? I had another manic episode, Like it's called a manic depressive episode, where you're really depressed and you're active, so you take action. And it was like to describe it, it was that horrific. It was like I was possessed.
Yeah. And again, you remember this? It wasn't like a blackout thing?
Yeah.
What type of things were going through your head?
It's embarrassing to say, but like I just woke up and I was like, I'm going to die today.
Just that clearly?
Yep.
and calmly about it? You would,
No, I
or
was like
you,
frantic.
yeah.
I was like, I need to do this before the kids wake up. The kids don't need me. My family's better off without me. Like, yeah, it was fucked up.
And that was just one day you woke up and just
Yeah.
decided that wasn't building over days or anything?
Nah, I was having like invasive suicidal thoughts, and I called Lifeline,
Yeah.
and they didn't help me at all. They were hopeless. And
Oh, really?
yeah.
Was that? What didn't they do, or what did they do?
Well, they should have said like you need to see a doctor ASAP,
Yeah.
and you need to tell your partner, and you need to go to the hospital like right now. This is really serious.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, don't do that. Like I said, look, I'm having all these like invasive suicidal thoughts, and they're like, yeah, but think about your kids. Like, don't do that. I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, I'll think about my kids,
Yeah.
and then hung up the phone. But I should have told my partner.
Yeah. So you just stayed silent that you were having these
Yeah, I
thoughts?
thought they would just go away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure we've all had thoughts where we, come into our head and be like, oh, imagine if I just crashed this car right now or something. Like, I don't know if you've ever had those thoughts.
I haven't personally.
Never?
No.
Yeah,
no.
maybe it's just the way I'm wired. But yeah, I just had these invasive thoughts and they wouldn't leave me alone. I used to like talk to myself. I was like, leave me alone, get out of my head. I'm not listening to you. Leave me alone. And then I just woke up one morning and yeah, I did some horrible shit. And yeah, like I put a knife to my throat and then I was like too scared to do it. And then I took a bunch of sleeping tablets and then saw the keys. And I was like, I'll just drive to a cliff and that'll just end it.
Such as one day you woke up and did those things.
Yep.
When you got to that cliff, what's going through your head? You get there, you park the car,
Yep.
you walk. Like you said, you're still frantic, or are you starting to accept what's going to happen? What are those moments like?
Yeah, I just convinced myself on the drive there. It's about 10 kilometers. And I just convinced myself that this was the best option, that my family would be better off without me. And it sounds it's so stupid to say. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but that was my thought. And I was like, they'll need the car, so don't crash the car. Like, they're going to have to sell it and get money for it. Like, make sure you just park it up nicely.
So you're almost still thinking rationally at the same time you were
thinking that bad.
Rationally,
Yeah.
That's
fucking scary, mate.
Yeah, that's strange. Because you hear so often people talk about suicide as people being selfish and, leaving family to deal with the problems and whatnot. But I've heard from people as well that have attempted, and it sounds like the same from you, that you honestly believe that those people will be better off without you. Is that how you felt?
Yeah.
In that moment?
Yep.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy what the brain can do and how how rationally you can think irrationally is crazy.
Yeah, and I just opened the car door and I walked off, and I remember standing at the edge, and I just thought, if not now, then when? I just took the step.
Wow.
Yeah.
That moment you took the step, your feet left, was there any regret?
I just felt relief.
Relief. As you fell off the edge of the cliff, you felt relief?
Yep.
Wow.
That's fucked up, eh?
It's crazy to hear that, but I guess that's, like you said, when you're
in that state.
I'm just
being really honest.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, to be honest. You need to be honest for people to understand what goes through these people's minds that do attempt suicide and do go through with it. So
yeah,
you just felt that hopeless, that sad, angry. Can you put into words what those emotions were?
Yeah, I just felt like the biggest piece of shit ever. I just felt like I'd let everyone down, and everyone deserves that. They'd be better off without me. I just felt like the scum of the earth.
Right, and then so you obviously made an attempt on your life, went off the edge of the cliff, and you're still here today. So obviously you survived.
At least I'm not good at that thing, eh?
Yeah, lucky you're bad at that.
Yeah.
So when do you remember going off and, I don't know, did you hit rocks? Did you fall down the bottom and realize you'd survived? What were those next moments?
I was awake, but I don't remember it.
Right.
But a guy found me and I was talking to him and he's like, couldn't work out that I was alive after falling 25 meters.
25 meters?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So he found you.
Yep.
And
called
then
the ambulance.
Yep. What are the next steps from there?
The ambulance got there really fast. The hospital's only like 5 minutes from the accident site. And then, they had me in I was in a coma for 4 days.
Yeah.
Tubed up.
as you try to just survive, essentially.
Yeah, I'd compound fractured my um, right ankle.
Mm.
So both bones were sticking out. And then I had external steel fixations on both ankles, shattered my pelvis, and broke my back in 4 places.
Right. And is there a spinal injury as well in
No.
there? No, just, it broke your back.
Yeah.
Wow. So all these injuries, but 4 days later, when you wake up, do you remember waking up and
Yep.
coming to?
Yep.
What was that moment like?
Yeah, I just grabbed a pair of scissors and tried to do it again.
Try to do it again.
I thought, fuck, I fucked up here. This is
And-
going to be a really bad situation. And then I asked the nurse if she could euthanize me. She's like, we don't do that.
Yeah. And there was scissors near your bed, and you managed to get
Yeah.
them, or
Or I don't know. I think I was like
Yeah.
a bit like dazed, and I was like trying to
yeah,
get to him or something. I'm not sure. And then I had someone with me on suicide watch, even though I was obviously completely broken. Like I lost 25 kilos in a matter of weeks.
yeah,
Yeah, I looked like a prisoner of war.
yeah, a bit of a shell of yourself of what
Yeah.
you were physically. So when you wake up mentally, what are you dealing with then? Are you snapped out of a manic episode?
Yep.
And yeah, and
Yeah,
yes,
snapped out of it. I know. I was like, where's D? Where's D? Fuck, D's going to leave me. And I was just stressing that she was going to leave me. And
that was your first worry then.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I cared about.
Yeah. Do the thoughts of your kids come to your head and
Yeah,
think of that?
I just feel like the biggest piece of shit compared to like the fact that I did what I've done. I just feel like I've let my whole family down.
Yeah. Is it just sitting there thinking you wish it had worked, or you're like, thank God I've got a second chance now, I'm still alive?
Yeah, I think immediately, obviously with the scissor moment, it was like, do this. And then, yeah, I'm grateful to have a second chance. But yeah, it's been a journey, mate. Like I had a huge X-fix over my leg, learning to walk again. I had a stoma because I ruptured my bowel.
Yeah. And when was this? How long ago?
So I had my final operation December 17th. So from September to December, I had 14 operations.
Right. And that in 2025.
Yep.
Yeah. And when was the day that you jumped off the cliff?
September 3rd, 25.
September 3rd, 25. So less than 12 months ago. Only, 8 months ago? Yeah. Wow. So still pretty fresh, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you spoke a bit about the injuries, the physical injuries, because obviously you're still dealing with mental and physical now.
Yep.
So those physical injuries, what's the process? You said you had a couple big surgeries there. Is it then, are you bedbound for a while, wheelchair?
Yep.
What's the physical rehab process from there?
Yeah, so I was bedbound for ages. Like they were bed bathing me. I don't think I really got out of bed. I think I got out of bed in November.
Yep.
Yeah. I stood up for the first time and walked for the first time in November 24th with like a big Ceres steady.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. And a steel cage on my leg. And then a moon boot on the other. So I had to then they were like moving my legs to try and get them going.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a day before my birthday on November 23rd. And then I was in hospital. Then I got into hospital rehab on January 6th. And then I was in there for 2 months. And then I've been making strides since March.
Yeah, okay, just slowly chipping away at the physical therapy.
Yep.
Is it pain? Are you in pain often with things, or?
Nah, like my moon boot made my hips uneven.
Oh,
So that created a lot of tension in my back, which would hurt. But now it's just my ankle because I've got a fused ankle. So it's just like the fact it's moving for the first time in 9 months really hurts.
And how did your back go now after?
Yeah, it's sweet.
That's all right?
Yeah.
So there's no spinal cord injury at all?
Nah,
No, that's,
I can't believe it.
Yeah, lucky with that especially. And obviously with this with the physical injuries, you're also still dealing with the mental.
Yep.
Do you have support there? Is your partner staying with you, your kids coming to visit? What's happening there to give you support through this time?
Yeah, my partner pulled the pin after 9 years.
Right.
So that's like, I think that hurts more than the injuries, to be honest.
Yeah.
Losing D. And, obviously we had our problems, but I don't know. I'm just absolutely perplexed, devastated. And then I see the kids on like a fortnightly basis. They come down and stay with us. Archie's 16, so I don't see him as much. And then Sage is 7 and Hugo's 2.
Yeah. And that was while you were in hospital that sort of happened?
No, it was recently.
Recently.
About 6 weeks ago, just after Easter.
Right. So that's obviously another mental battle to
Mate.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been through a court battle, been through this, been through a breakup, and learning to walk again. It's just like, how much more can a man go through?
Yeah. Going to be resilient by
Yeah,
the end of it.
yeah.
Um, and then back to hospital again for a sec. When those mental battles there, are you having therapists come in and talk to you? Are you
Yeah.
now considering the medication for bipolar? Like,
Yeah, I'm on the medication. I'm not getting off it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, you only learn you get the hint. And if you don't get the hint, you get the hammer.
yeah,
And I say I got a Mack truck.
yeah, yeah,
So I really fucked up. Like I should have got the help. I should have taken my medication. I shouldn't have, tried to tough it out. So that will forever haunt me. But I've got a really good psychiatrist now.
yep,
But yeah, it's hard with the support. All my mates are in Brisbane, so they don't really come down much.
yeah.
And I'm just sort of fighting it alone with mum.
Makes it tougher. Hopefully, there's someone listening to this that might be in a similar situation, trying to fight it out, can hear this story and think, shit, that could be me. As you said, you had it all from the outside. You had everything you could want, and still got to this stage. So
Yeah,
there might be someone listening that can hear your story and then put things in place to make a difference to their life and not deal with those same things you have.
yeah.
And through those, or following your injury or following the incident at the cliff, have you had conversations with your kids about what happened?
Yeah, I've spoken to Archie about it. He's 16, so he knows the truth of what happened.
Yeah.
He's obviously rocked by it and can't work out why he would do it, like why people do these things.
Yep.
Because there was a suicide at his school not long after it was successful.
Not long after your
Yeah.
attempt. Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
another one recently. So at a neighbouring school, kid was 17, good looking bloke, had all the friends, got upset over a girl and hung himself. And it's like,
Fuck.
it's just like fucking hell.
Mm.
So yeah, I can't believe this is my story, but hopefully, yeah, the conversation starts and can
Yeah.
help save one life. That's really all I care about sharing.
How, by the time you finished that conversation with Archie, how did that go? Did he understand a little bit or
No, I was just upset.
just upset? Yeah. Are those ongoing conversations or?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. And I don't really know how or what to say.
I imagine it'll be extremely difficult where
Yeah.
it'll be obviously a part where you're ashamed, but then you want to be honest with him. So I imagine that would be very tough. Might be
Yeah,
one of
and I
those
guess I've
things.
sort of avoided it. Like he's a good young man, and I don't know. I just feel like I've really let him down as a father figure.
Yeah, I mean, there's things that have happened. It's one of those things you can't dwell on the past. I guess you can only use them to learn and move forward and show him that maybe this will help if he ever has to deal with mental health issues, how serious they are. As we said, you can only dwell on the past so much. Easier said than done, of course, especially since it's so fresh for you as well.
Yeah,
But I mean, all these things are just going to be learnings to take forward from here.
it's fucking brutal lessons.
Yeah, I could imagine. And I know you said as well, like only when we got here earlier, like some days are just tough and you just miss your old life. Yeah. How's that going?
Mate, I'm really struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've made a good group of friends like down on the coast just from wheeling myself along the Broadwalk. Like
Yeah.
I've probably got about 10 friends that have drinks with or go out with, and it's nice for those moments. But yeah, it's fucked. I really struggle. I just cry. Pretty much wake up at 4 a.m. crying. Wake up at 2 a.m. in tears, just like mourning my old life.
Just think,
Apologizing to my kids,
yeah.
saying I've let you down. I should have done better. Like I've barely seen them in 9 months. Because you spend 6 months in hospital, they come visit sort of once a week. Compared to living them full time, having them run into your bed in the morning, making brekkie, dropping them to school, asking them how their day was, doing homework with them, reading books, like it's all gone.
Yeah, it's very difficult, I could imagine. I mean, yeah, we both have had injuries. They're both very individual stories. Obviously, mine's very different to yours, but yeah, as you're sort of asking me how I do it, and as I said to you, there's no real magic answer, unfortunately. It'd be
Yeah.
good if there was a magic answer. And you just go, just do this and everything's better. But there's no such thing, unfortunately. It's one of those things you just got to take one day at a time. I feel like you will find things to focus on or bring you happiness or whatever it might be. It might take a bit of time, but I mean, the best thing you're doing is not staying silent about it now and speaking up. And like I said, you've got a good psychiatrist now. And that's, I guess, the putting things in place so that when you do have these bad moments or bad days that you can handle them a little bit better than maybe you have in the past.
Mm.
But yeah, I could imagine still very difficult these days. So, I mean,
The lack of movement, mate.
yeah, the physical gets you
Yep.
more, you reckon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not being able to duck down to the shops, just not being able to duck down to the car. Like I've just started walking with a cane like 1 day ago, and that's the most movement I've ever had. Up until then, it was wheelchair bound everywhere,
Yep.
and it's just like it's tough.
Yeah, I guess that's one of those things you appreciate what you do get, focus on those things you have regained rather than what you have lost. Like if
Mm.
you look at where you were, you've made heaps of strides now. And it's only
Yeah.
been a few months down the line. It's one of those things, I don't know. Everyone's different. Try to focus on those positive things that you can, I
Mm.
guess. But what does life look like for you these days?
Yeah, it looks like I live with my mum,
Yep.
and I feel like a dog because like I should be looking after her and making her feel special and you know doing that, and it's the opposite. She's got to help me hobble into the shower and shower me and wash my feet and dry my legs, and I'm just like, fuck, this is
Yeah, tough.
tough. So like I can't really cook or clean,
Yeah.
and so it's wake up 5 a.m., get dressed, go out. I go to Snapper Rocks, watch the surf. It's about a 6 kilometer round wheelchair ride. Come back, have brekkie, do a bit of work on the new business. I just bad habits of doom scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah. So tell me about this new business. What's that?
Yeah, so it's called 80/20. So it's a mental health and
Yep.
wellbeing company for business owners, because business owners are obviously under a lot of stress and there's a lot of support for employees, but there's no one there to be a voice for the business owners. And I
Yep.
think they're the ones that wear a lot of the load. So my business partner, Wah, me and him have started the business. So we're going to be doing one-on-one coaching, workshops, programs, retreats, all for business owners.
Yeah, I guess that's great that you've lived it and you've been there, you know what they're going through,
Yeah.
and you can share your experience and show them how, I guess, serious things can get if they don't take what they're going through seriously and they find that work-life balance. So
Yeah.
that's amazing. Where's that up to, the business?
Yeah. So we're just building the website now, getting the brand sorted. We had an article in the Courier Mail a couple of days ago, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we should be launching in the next sort of 4 weeks.
Yeah, okay. And that'll give you a bit of something to turn your focus to as well. And
Yeah. I
yeah.
think maybe I've got another podcast to do and hopefully get a bit of a speaking career going.
Oh yeah, share your story and
Yeah.
be able to show people again, yeah, what can happen if you don't take your mental health and health in general seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's your goal now, is to try to spread awareness about mental health and
Yep.
in particular men's mental health. Or
I think men and women, like obviously this month is men's mental health, and 80% of men that commit suicide is 80% of them is men. So I think, yeah, I'm just really passionate about being in business and helping business owners. So whether they're male or female, I don't really mind. But yeah, that's sort of what I'm most passionate about.
seems like it's going to be a great thing. One, for you to give some purpose
Yep.
is a massive thing, I think, in life. Everyone needs some purpose.
I think that's what really fucked me up when
Yeah.
I left Ex-Recruiter and I had no purpose.
Yeah.
It really got to me because I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who I am. I've got nothing to worth fighting for.
Sense of identity was tied up in that.
Yeah, and that's a big mistake that I'm going to tell a lot of people, like, don't tie your identity up in your business, because like too often than not, people wear their business heart on their sleeve and it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, you're a dad before you're a business owner.
Yeah, find that balance between I mean, it's a common throwaway phrase, a work-life balance. People just say, oh yeah, find it. But I mean, from listening to you and your experience, it is a very serious thing that you need to find that work-life balance, or things can really take a
And
turn
it's a
and turn
balance in a lot of
unhealthy.
areas, like
Mm.
balancing your identity
Yep.
is a huge thing. Like don't invest everything in your company. Like balancing your time with your family, balancing your work and your day to day and your zone of genius, and splitting up your day and making sure that all cups are full. Because like if you don't look after yourself, how are you meant to look after anyone else? And I was running around looking after customers, looking after everyone, making sure suppliers were happy, making sure bills were paid, making sure everyone was happy except me. Then my cup just got so empty to the point where I self-imploded.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to an extent about before my injury, my whole identity and things I place value in were all physical.
Yep.
Like everything I did with my hands, I loved the gym, sport, all those things I did and place value in were physical things. So when all that's taken away, it's sort of you're left with background zero, like what now? So it did
How do you
take,
get through it?
well, it didn't happen straight away. I mean,
Yep.
you're only 8 months in. I was in hospital for 8 months just trying to recover. So for the stage you're at, I was still just getting out of hospital, returning home. When I got home, I was very much the same. Had to move back in with my parents. I was there not doing a lot in Albury, just watching TV, hanging out with mates here and there. It didn't happen. Then slowly start to turn your attention. I just put all my focus to start with into physical therapy and trying to regain as much movement as I could.
Yep.
And then when that sort of started to, it helped a little bit and I got some movement back. So then I was able to make the move up here to Queensland from down south. And then I slowly just found things that interest me that I wanted to put time into. I've started some things that I liked and then realized, oh no, that's not for me. So I stopped, and just trial and error has been the biggest thing. Just try things. If they work, great. If they don't, then all right, tick, cross that off the list. That one's not for me. So
Yep.
I think that was the biggest thing. I'm 9 years down the track now, and I'm still learning things and still starting things and trying to figure out what does and doesn't work for me. So I think that's the biggest thing, just trial and error, try to figure what does work for you. Because yeah, it definitely didn't happen overnight for me. I'm still figuring it out. So
Yep.
yeah, I think you give yourself a little bit of grace, and you don't have to wake up tomorrow with it all figured out. It can take some time. You can try some things. You can have days where it's shit. You can have days where it's great. That's still going to happen when you figure it out or not. So I think one of the biggest things I got told in rehab that has stayed with me, and people that listen to the podcast will probably be sick of hearing me say this, but I just got told, you know, let yourself have the bad times, because without them you can't have the good times. Like some days are going to be shit, but that's okay. You just let yourself have it, because then it'll let you appreciate those good days a bit more. So, I think like I said, give yourself a bit of grace, and yeah, it'll come.
Thanks,
Yeah.
brother.
But mate, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. As we mentioned, it is fairly heavy and significant to talk about, the really raw and honest recount of what's going on and what's happened and what's still you're dealing with now. So I appreciate that. As I said, I'm sure a lot of people that are dealing with similar mental health struggles are going to hear this, and one, not feel alone and know that there are other people going through it as well. And two, it might make some people take their mental health a bit more seriously.
Yep.
That work-life balance, as we spoke about, and really make a difference to some people's lives. So I think it's great that you've shared your story, and hope you're all the best as you go through this recovery, both physically and mentally, and try to find that balance. But yeah, really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Cheers. A big thank you to Declan for coming in and sharing that story. That is obviously a very personal and very heavy topic to come in and share. It has to be very vulnerable coming in and opening up like that. You can hear the raw emotion and in his voice, and the way he talks about something that is still so fresh to him, and just the way that he was, able to rationalize things in that moment, that he was in a manic state, and the way how far it takes you, that you can't take any sort of mental health lightly. You got to take it seriously. He did have a very serious diagnosis of bipolar, which isn't always the case for some people, but doesn't mean you should take it any less serious if you don't have that official diagnosis. So please listen to your body, listen to your mind, treat them all very well, because you never know what might happen in the future. So Thank you to Declan for coming in and being so vulnerable and open with such a personal story. And obviously, this one was very heavy, very significant to chat about. So, if this does bring up any adverse feelings for you listening to this, or if you're just having some negative thoughts, a negative time in your life, please do reach out to a loved one if you can, or to a friend, or to anyone that you think might listen. Or if not, you can contact Lifeline on 13 11 14. You can also text them on 0477 13 11 14, or head to their website lifeline.org.au and head towards the live chat, which is available 24/7. Please do reach out and check in on each other, and remember that it ain't weak to speak, especially this month being Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So, as Declan said, if he had have told his partner or had have told someone, it could have changed everything for his life. So, please do speak up if you are struggling. Go check out the Instagram page, chatsfromachair_podcast. Have a look at some of the clips that I've got from past guests. You can check out the link there to head to the full episodes. You can send me a message if you have an idea of someone that I should have on, or even just a sort of general topic that you'd be interested in hearing, and I can try to find someone in that field. So, want to keep this podcast fairly diverse, a bit of everything. So, please do reach out if you have any suggestions, and you'll be able to see who I've got coming up on the podcast on the page as well. So, hit follow on whatever platform you're listening to this. Hit follow on the Instagram page. Help me out that way. And see you back for the next episode. Hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. Cheers.